Salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My speech for today is related to Zainab Salam Alaiha sacrifices in Karbala, and it won't take more than 6 minutes. Salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
The 10th day of Muharram, Ashura, dawned. Before going into battle, Imam Hussain alayhi salam went into the tent of his son Zainul Abidin alayhi salam, who was lying ill, too weak to join his father in battle. He was being tended to by his aunt Zainab Salam Alaiha. Imam Hussain alayhi salam bade him farewell, saying, "My son, you are the best and purest of my children. After me, you will be my successor and deputy. Take care of these women and children during captivity, and the women and children during captivity of the rigors of travel. Console them, my son. Convey to my friends my salam, greetings of peace, and tell them their imam has been killed away from his home, and that they should mourn for me." Sighing deeply, then to Zainab Salam Alaiha, he said, "After killing me, my enemies will take off the clothes from my body. Therefore, please bring me some old and tattered dress to wear, so that they may not undress me and leave me naked." Zainab Salam Alaiha did as he requested. That same day, Zainab Salam Alaiha brought to him her two sons, An and Muhammad, and said to him, "Accept therefore the sacrifice of my two sons." When Zainab Salam Alaiha's sons were killed, she bore their death with fortitude. She did not come out of her tent, nor she did loudly lament, for she did not wish to cause grief or shame to her brother. But when the corpse of Ali Akbar alayhi salam, the son of Hussain alayhi salam, was brought to the tents of the woman Zainab Salam Alaiha, was distraught. Oblivious of her veil, she came out of her tent and clasped the body, saying, "Oh my son, would that I had become blind, or had been buried beneath the ground, so as not to have seen this day." When the Imam was taking his final leave of the ladies, Zainab Salam Alaiha asked that he tried to get a little water from his dehydrated infant son Ali Ashar alayhi salam. The Imam took him in his arms and went to beseech Omar ibn Saad for water for the innocent child. But his request fell on deaf ears and stone hearts. Instead, an arrow pierced the child's neck, killing him instantly. Imam Hussain alayhi salam returned with the child still in his arms, himself spattered with his son's blood. Zainab Salam Alaiha took the small corpse from his brother and, pressing it close to her chest, lamented pitiful the heavy toll on life that the injustice of the enemy extracted. That fateful day wore on. Imam Hussain alayhi salam was wounded so many times until eventually he fell off his horse. His enemies surrounded him and attacked him with swords and spears. When Zainab Salam Alaiha saw his agony from her tent door, she went onto the field of battle, and approaching the Imam, she said, "Oh my brother, would that sky fell down to earth and the mountains fell to the ground." Then she turned to Umar ibn Saad and said, "O Saad, Hussain alayhi salam is being butchered and you are only watching." Hearing this, his eyes were filled with tears, but he made no reply. Then Zainab Salam Alaiha addressed the others of the army, "Is there no Muslim among you who could help the grandson of Prophet, peace be upon him, of Allah?" And then the fighting came to an end. The Imam's body was trampled by his enemies' horses. His head was severed, and even the tattered clothes which he had hoped to preserve his modesty and was snatched off him. At that moment of the Imam's death, Hazrat Jibreel proclaimed, "Beware, Hussain alayhi salam has been murdered in Karbala." Upon hearing this, Zainab salam alayha rushed to Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam and told him about the tragedy that has just occurred. At his asking, she raised the curtain of the tent door for him and looking towards the battlefield, he exclaimed, "My aunt, my father has been killed, and with him the spring of generosity and honor too has come to an end. Inform the women and ask them to conduct themselves with patience and forbearance. Let them be prepared to plunder and taken captive." Now the enemy came to the woman's tent. Umar ibn Sa'd gave the order to loot. Barging in, they plundered what they could and set the tents on fire. They snatched away their veils. Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam bedding was ripped from beneath him, and he was left lying feeble, weak and unable to move. Sakina's earrings were wrenched from her ears, making them bleed. While the tents buried away, Zainab salam alayha gathered the young woman and went to find Imam Ali Zainul Abidin alayhi salam. Finding that he has not been killed, Shimr had come to behead him. Zainab salam alayha threw himself on her sick nephew to protect him, and Shimr was stopped from carrying out his evil intention. Most of the women, as the children, had fled into the open in terror. As night fell, Zainab salam alayha collected them all together, but could not find Sakina. She was greatly perturbed and called on her dead brother to tell and where the girl was. A voice replied, "Oh, my sister, my daughter is with me." Sakina had slipped away to where the body of her dead father lay. Zainab salam alayha found her there, clinging to his body, and brought the orphaned child back. So on.
Allah